See that sign? Free wood. It was not free. I picked these up on a blustery, cold March day. They sat in back of my truck for a month before I chainsawed them into blanks. Turns out, chainsawing logs into turning blanks is a lot like work. Guess I blocked out my childhood experience of cutting firewood in the mountains in Vermont. If you've watched any of my videos, you know every piece of wood is my favorite. I just can't resist a log. I want to take every single one of them home with me. Didn't look like much wood when I filled my truck, but boy, when I got home was I cursing. I've been chasing a finish I like for months, probably even longer. I want something natural. I want something food safe. I want something that's not going to have too much build. So this time I'm going to try a shellac base coat, maybe a couple, then some tung oil, then Rowdy Rooster. I mean, come on, Rowdy Rooster. What a great name. I got to use it. I'm not happy with this mounting method. At first I was going to use a spur drive to mount it between centers. Then I realized I want to be able to mount it with the worm screw so that I can drill the bottom for my token. I won't be able to do that later because I can't catch it with the vacuum chuck because it'll tend to warp. It's going to be a natural edge bowl. So I take that hole saw and I cut a circle. Then I chisel away everything so I have a nice flat spot so that the chuck will sit against it. Then I have something for the worm screw to bite into and to hold it onto. So there's the circle. We mount it into this and now the chuck will sit nice and flush and the worm screw has got it. This is going to be a natural edge bowl and I'm trying to keep the bark on. So I'm going for that nice banana shape where I curl the long ends up so that they meet at the top. Then when I hollow it out, I kind of have that nice curve, that nice banana shape. So I'm going to start here by turning a whole lot of air on this very green log and try to bring those two long points up so that they have a nice curve on them and that curve ends at the very top. There you can see I'm really working on the long points, the two ends, and trying to get a curve onto those and get rid of some of that so that I have a nice banana shape bowl. I'm starting to round those ends over. I'm getting a better cut. I'm getting nice clean ribbons. So I'm making progress. Here's a slow motion replay. I've really almost got the shape dialed in. You can see I've marked for the foot, and there's those ribbons coming off in slow motion. They're not that long because I'm only cutting the long side. I'm still cutting a lot of air, but I'm going to bring those in and they start to get longer as I get closer to that foot. I got the outside shape pretty well. I'm going to have to add some shellac here. I'm just kind of grasping at straws here, trying to fix the end grain tear out, and I'm trying to stop it from losing water too quickly and warping before I'm ready for it. So I'm still going to have to do a lot of sanding, a terrible amount of sanding, but at this point I'm just trying to do anything I can to try to minimize that. After the shellac dried, I tried to use my negative rake scraper to clean up as much of that end grain tear out as I can. It helps a little bit, and then I'm going to have to go and sand it either way. But if you look at that log, the two ends there where I'm sanding right now, that's like the top of the tree, and then the bottom of the tree is the other direction. So that right there is the end grain. I cleaned up everything except for right there, and that I have to sand because I just can't get that cleaned up. I want to be certain this bark stays on, so I'm going to use some CA glue to just kind of reinforce that bark before I start hollowing out and putting any pressure on it. So I'll CA glue all the way around the outside, then I will resand after the CA glue, which also probably helped a little bit with the end grain. And there I'm doing the end grain again because no matter what, I just can't clean that up. It took a lot of sanding. Now I'm going to drill for the token. This is why I mounted it with the worm screw so that I could drill for this token. I can't do this later because I can't get the vacuum chuck to grab it because the piece is going to move just enough that I can't get a grab. I'm going to add a little more shellac to try to slow this down after the sanding, and then I'm going to flip it over. This is a spectacular piece of wood. I'm now going to be, again, Mr. Muscle Man, and I'm going to try to pull it off from the worm screw, and I succeeded. Flip it around, grab onto it, pull that tailstock up so it doesn't hit me in the snot locker, and it's time to hollow. Moving on to hollowing. I want to keep that tailstock up, so I have a little trouble getting in there. The chips are coming right at the camera. That throws focus off a little bit. And of course, I keep kicking the tripod that's holding one of the cameras. I'm trying to minimize that, but sometimes I just kind of need it for the shot. I switched to the carbide rougher. This is going to make short work of this. I'm getting big ribbons coming off from this as I just remove material in mass. I'm trying to do this quickly because I don't want it to move, so I want to get this down to the right shape, so I am racing the clock a little bit before it starts to move on me, and this tool will make short work of this green wood. Here you can see I'm making some progress. Wall thickness isn't quite right and depth is off, but while I still have tailstock support, I'm going to take off as much as I possibly can. Then I will remove that nub in the middle, and I'll be all on my own, trying not to get hit in the snot locker. We're getting close. I don't have a great angle on this, so I'm going to remove that nub that's in the middle that the tailstock is holding the piece on. I don't think I need it anymore. I'm not taking that much off. I'm not stressing it that much. So now I have a better angle at this. I can get in there. I have more tool rest support, and I can start to take that side to the final thickness and to the bottom. I'm starting to get there. I'm not quite there yet, but the bark is staying on, which is the good news, and we'll keep thinning this out. I'm getting the walls to the right thickness. You can kind of see right there how I'm turning a lot of air. I've switched to my wide mouth carbide negative rake scraper. This does a lot of flattening the bottom, and that transition from the side to the bottom, it cleans that up quite nicely. Does an okay job at getting the end grain. Nothing's really going to do that with this piece of wood. So I'm going to work through this. Eventually I'm going to add some more shellac to this. There we go. Trying to seal it, trying to stop it from moving. Now, I'm going to sand this. In hindsight, this is a mistake. I think for a bowl like this with a wall thickness about 3/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, I should have just let it sit overnight because it dries a lot. Maybe put it in the microwave because I'm just not getting any sawdust off of this because the wood is just too wet. I'm going to use a friction chuck because I can't use the vacuum chuck. I can't get a good seal, so that I can bring this up and I can fix the foot. I have some tool marks where the chuck held on to the base, and I have a little bit of tear out on the bottom there. I'm keeping that bottom a little bit thick, so later if I have to, I can reduce it down. So I've got the tailstock up where the token is, so I can't damage anything. I ended up sanding it right here. I probably should have waited till the next day. I did clean some up, but I'll have to fix it later. Okay, 2 days later, off camera, I sanded everything by hand. I'm going to add some Axe tung oil sealant. I'm going to let it take as much as it can, let it absorb it. I'll let it sit for 30 minutes, then I'll wipe it off. Sometime later, I wiped off the excess tung oil. I'm liking the way this looks. There on the lathe, you can see the canary wood bowl. That should be out in a couple of weeks. Next up, I'm going to put the token on the bottom with some CA glue. Then I'm going to go on and add some shellac. I'll add 2 coats of shellac, buff in between, and then we move on to my new hard wax finish, the Rowdy Rooster. A couple of days later, I'm going to add the Rowdy Rooster hard wax finish to the outside. I'm going to put a real generous coat on, let it sit for 30-40 minutes, then I'm just going to wipe it off. 30-40 minutes later, wiping off the excess Rowdy Rooster finish. I like it. It's not too blingy. It lets the wood do the talking. It's food safe. That part I like. I'm not sure if it's going to be my go-to for every single bowl, but it's a nice one to have in my inventory of things I can pull out. This piece of wood I found on the side of the street is very beautiful. It's got some sequoias on the inside. The camera doesn't really pick it up. And this one is done. I'm really starting to like these natural edge bowls. I have a lot more on the way. I have a lot more wood that I found on the side of the street. So stay tuned, like and subscribe so you don't miss anything. My wife has once again decorated with birds, just adorable. This piece is just spectacular. Again, it's another one of my favorite pieces. This is really in my top 5, I think, for things that I've turned. I am shocked how it came out. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.